Hello. Hello, everyone. And my deepest apologies for that very late start. Oh, so I had the stream all ready to go. I had everything ready. I was just about to go live and I just went to double check to make sure that my mic was working. Oh, oh, shit. Oops. Phone volume was still on. Anyway, I had everything ready to go and then I saw my mic wasn't on. I'm like, what the heck? And then all my, like, just like that, I tried it in a different port and then all my USB ports shut off. So then I was just trying to figure out what the heck was wrong. I'm like updating all the different drives for all the different USB ports. And after a while, I'm like, this is not working. This is not working at all. And then I had this realization that my wife has a laptop. So I plugged that one in. And I had to get everything running on my wife's laptop. So fortunately, I have everything that I wanted already kind of logged into this StreamYard account, into this my online profile. So I don't think I'm missing anything except for one little set of notes that I wanted to read off of, which is on my other laptop. But I think we'll be fine without it. Anyways, that is my long-winded explanation. And yeah, sorry again for that late start. So basically what we are here to talk about today is Battlefront 2, and I was hoping that the next time I talked about, or the Battlefront series in general, it was going to be with better news, with exciting news, with hope and joy for the future. And unfortunately, we're not here to do that today. We're here to complain. I've been holding back my complaints on everything Star Wars related for a very long time, and but today we're here to complain, man. That's that's my whole shtick today. Okay, I got a few comments here. Do Star Wars nerds, thank you for the compliment. Appreciate it, man. Man, two beard comments. I guess I really haven't streamed in a while. Last time I streamed was probably Lord Callus, and that was weeks ago. And before then, it had already been like weeks before my latest stream. So, what's up, Hammond? Good to see you. Yeah. So basically, I think that I should probably ping my server just to let everybody know that we're running. I know that everybody loves getting pinged. Hang on, we live now. Okay. Sorry about all the pings, guys. So we have some tweets here that we're going to read. But before we do that, we have a critical step that we cannot miss. Let's roll the intro.
It is time that we had a talk, a real talk.
All right, now it's official. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the tweets that we have seen from the developers lately. So there's a couple different people that we're going to look at today. And they were both people that worked with EA. They worked on the Battlefront series. There's someone that was there who worked on both Battlefront series. And I guess recently, one of the developers came out with some tweets. And I know that this news came out a couple days ago, so you're probably aware of it. But we're going to talk about it today because, as you guys know, I'm very into the Star Wars gaming scene. And this is stuff that I really care about. I care more about leaks and news and information for Star Wars games than I really do the TV shows, because these leaks aren't really spoilers. They're just like updates, What's up, Matt Cave? Good to see you. Good to see you. After my technical difficulties, it's going to probably take people a minute to get here, and that's fine. They can join us whenever they are free. Okay, so the first tweet we're going to look at, the most controversial one, the one that probably everybody's seen, is Battlefront 3 was a pitch title from DICE, so they didn't forget about it. It was in their sights. They had thought about this game. It had been in, the fact we're just seeing this one tweet, but there's probably a lot going on behind the scenes, right? This was probably a very large discussion. This was probably something that had been potentially in the works for a long time, right? So I don't think this tweet is probably doing justice to everything that was happening. So they pitched the title, which is exciting, but ultimately the title was shot down by EA due to licensing costs. So I don't totally understand what they mean by licensing costs. So by that they mean like, because they had a partnership with Disney to make these games, right? Like they got the rights. So when you talk about licensing, um, like is it the Star Wars characters themselves, or are they just like, is it really, does it cost them extra to produce something Star Wars because of the fact that it's Star Wars and not their own house brand um, product? You know, like Assassin's Creed or Battlefield, stuff like that. So I'm not totally understanding what it means by licensing costs. If you're watching this and you do know, leave a comment. But the next quote here is, it got turned down because it takes 20% more sales to make the same money, said one past developer. So it takes 20% more. Hang on, let me see that again. It takes 20% more sales to make the same money. So they have to sell 20% more copies to make the same amount of money as, let's say, a new Battlefield game does, which really does surprise me because like the Star Wars fan base is huge. It's massive. The Star Wars fan base is bigger than the Battlefield fan base. It's bigger than the Assassin's Creed fan base. It's bigger than the, oh, I don't know if it's bigger than like the sports fan base, because sports fans are everywhere, probably more than Star Wars fans, but 20% more. It takes 20% more sales. They have to sell 20% more copies. And now obviously they're talking about how poorly Battlefront 2 launched. If Battlefront 2 launched successfully, this would be a whole different thing. We would already be seeing trailers for Battlefront 3, probably. But because of the fact that it launched so poorly, they took a huge loss probably initially, because people were wanting refunds, people weren't buying the game, people were boycotting the game. It doesn't represent what the launch should have been like. So I think that they're still probably upset about how that first launch went with Battlefront 2. And obviously they redeemed themselves. They put all that effort in to making free content, and they redeemed themselves. I mean, anyone who plays Battlefront 2 knows that it's a good game now. Like all the controversies surrounding its launch, they redeemed themselves with all the free content. It was a great game. Like, it was one of my favorite games. It's still one of my favorite games. But they had to, in my opinion, they gave out way too much stuff for free. Okay. Sorry, a couple comments here. Spencer, what's up, man? With EA's contract coming too, and its end regarding Star Wars titles, I wonder if that's what they were referring to about the licensing fees. Yeah, possibly. Like continuing to work on it outside of the contract. That's a real possibility too, for sure. If I understand you correctly. But I just wish that when Battlefront 2 had launched and they screwed up, right? The microtransactions, they should have fixed the store, done maybe half a year's worth of stuff for free. Like I'm thinking like, they're like, hey, we screwed up, guys. Have a DLC pass on us. You can pick whichever DLC you want for free, or for everyone who bought the game at launch, we're going to unlock all the heroes for you, or something like that. Some sort of large token of appreciation and apology. But what they did do is they made the game free, and every single update and DLC content after that was free. It was too much free. They gave too much. They took such a massive loss on Battlefront 2. And if they hadn't done that, like they went so overboard on damage control that they were making no profits, and they didn't see the game for the profits that it could have made, because people don't want to pay to win. Okay, some people want to pay to win, but that's not where they had to make money. They thought that maybe that was where they were going to make their money, was through these microtransactions and people beefing up their characters and their hero cards and stuff like that. But they didn't need that. People don't want to do that. I mean, one of the most successful games for this, we look at like CSGO, and a Warzone's really good for this. I think of Team Fortress 2, the thousands and thousands of dollars that people spend on weapon aesthetics and skins and hats, right? I'm sure Lucasfilm is open to a Battlefront game to be made. Multiplayer games are huge now, plus we'll need something for next gen. So I actually heard a really good idea about this, and that is that after the PS5 is out already, but what they should do is relaunch Battlefront 2 for the PS5, and then include all the content that they were missing out on, like relaunch a new live service for the PS5. Kind of like it would give the game a chance to restart. Okay, I'm choosing a different. Yeah, it's just way too big. It takes up half the screen. Yeah, but there's definitely potential for the PS5. If they were to relaunch Battlefront 2 and give it another chance, that might be the best chance that we get if they were to take that approach. So I'm hopeful. It's a good idea. You've been playing since launch and experienced the redemption story. It's a phenomenal game now. It's such a good game, and it has so much room for growth. And we're going to look at some more stuff, some more tweets about this yet, and it wasn't even done. Like, there was still lots that they wanted to do with Battlefront 2. It's just they gave out too much for free, man. They don't realize that me and many others who adore Battlefront 2 and have been playing it since launch, I would give anything to give EA my money. I would give anything for a new DLC, for new characters, for drop some new skins. I'll buy the money. Or I'll buy the money. I'll spend the money on whatever update you want to give. You want to start charging for DLCs? Do it. You want to create a battle pass system? Some kind of subscription service? I'll do it. I'll pay. Please take my money. Anything to keep the game alive. They don't understand that the people want to give them money and it's being wasted. They fumbled the ball so bad on this game, and I just can't believe how it's been handled. If we don't get any new Star Wars multiplayer for this next gen, it'll be huge though. Exactly. I love Fallen Order as much as the next person. Okay. A lot of people love it. I've played Fallen Order 3 twice. It has no multiplayer. Okay. I can only beat a game so many times and then I'm done with it. Right? Like, I liked when I think of games that I've platinumed that I loved, they're single player games. I think of like Bloodborne. I think of Sekiro. I think of I don't know, Doom, whatever. A lot of these games, I've beaten them 5 times. I've gotten every single trophy. I've done everything there is to do. And at some point, you just run out of stuff. We need something multiplayer. So, hoping that open world game is multiplayer, man, because we need something new. We need some kind of experience. And Squadrons is not the answer. Squadrons was not the answer. It's a great game, but Squadrons is very much for a niche community. The people that love the flying aspects. I didn't like that game. I get tunnel vision in that little ship. Flying inverted, I just suck. Maybe it's just because I suck at it. Maybe because I suck at it. Battlefront 3 would have been like Battlefront 2, just larger. It's true. It's very possible that, like, when we think of Battlefront 3, we think, what else could they have done? I mean, they covered all 3 trilogies. I mean, what I talked about in my Battlefront 3 video that I made is that there was potential for them to add, instead of the trilogies, it could have been like, include the trilogies because you've already done the legwork on the 3 trilogies. So put that in Battlefront 3, but then include a whole section of the game to Fallen Order content, Fallen Order enemies, Fallen Order heroes and villains. Then a whole other section of the game dedicated to Mandalorian, right? And all of the different characters, heroes, villains, maps. We look at Bad Batch, include the whole Bad Batch. It just sucks that we've had to lean on the modding community to make a lot of this stuff happen. And I don't even game PC. I don't even get in on all these sweet PC mods. It's just it's whack. It's whack. Thanks for coming, Strike. Appreciate seeing you here. And accurate large-scale battle games. You're going to have to explain what you mean by accurate. My son tricked me into playing Fortnite back when there were Star Wars characters. Oh, yeah. I remember that update. Would you play Star Wars Battle Royale game? Battle Royale games are proven. They're this generation's hit. It's what everybody loves. You're going to make Star Wars Battle Royale? Sure. I'm really into Apex right now. I'll drop it in a heartbeat if you're going to do Star Wars. Make it good. Put the time into it. Let us spend money. Let us spend money on skins and stuff like that. People love skins, man. I've unlocked like every skin in Battlefront 2. I don't know. I got all these credits. I got nothing to do with them. The messy launch of Battlefield 2042. It's kind of a god blessing. Yeah, maybe. I guess that's one perspective. That's one perspective. Okay, there's a few more tweets that I wanted to look at here. So, um, yeah, that's right. So I guess a bunch of developers from Battlefront 2 left, which is not a great sign, right? It would this would indicate Battlefront 3 is very unlikely. I have seen the build file for Dice's next title. Blah blah blah. So a bunch of the developers from Battlefront 2 are not here anymore. I guess a lot of these people left. I guess they knew that it was done before we did, or they didn't expect there to be more. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. Like again, there's always lots of stuff that could have been happening behind the scenes that we didn't know about, but um, it's not promising. However, and will touch on this at the end, there's always a chance that another game gets the rights to Battlefront, or they redo it completely in their own way. Right? It doesn't have to be EA that makes Battlefront 2. EA didn't make the original Battlefronts. I think I'm making a very large assumption here that might make me look like an ass, but EA didn't make the first two Battlefronts, so why do they have to make Battlefront 3? Let's give it to another company that actually cares, right? And I'm probably one of the niche fan base, but in the Clone Wars, I don't want multiple different legions running on the battlefield. Clones can only wield. Ah, I see. I see what you mean. Yeah, that would make it so what would be better? Well, they did have class specific weapons, right? The heavies only could use the heavy weapons and so forth, but I guess there are some weapon inaccuracies. But I mean that's some Star Wars elitism. And you wear that elitism like a badge of honor. But I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't know that makes or breaks the Battlefront experience for me. I mean, for some people, I can see how that would take you out of that immersion, right? If you're playing something and something so minor can just take you out of it like that, I totally get that. That's why I'm not really a huge fan of live action Ahsoka. I just don't like her. I just her. What are those called? Those Leku. The Leku aren't the correct length. So I just cannot appreciate Ahsoka because I look at her, I think Leku's wrong. So I'm not I'm not so innocent myself. LucasArts and Pandemic made the original Battlefront games. Okay. Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So what company would you trust? Dude, I don't know. The thing is, I really like Battlefront 2. So I kind of wanted EA to make it again. I know that they've got a bad rep, but with the way Battlefront 2 turned out, I'm so happy about it. I'd be happy with them continuing. But who else could do it? That's a really good question. I don't really know. Whatever gaming company can make a reputable PvP combat system, large scale multiplayer, because they did it really well in Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 had a lot of game modes that didn't really work that well, and they weren't popular, and there were a ton of issues like matchmaking and waiting forever and stuff like that. Like, they definitely some issues that hopefully another company wouldn't have those problems perpetually throughout the game's existence. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Okay, next tweet that I wanted to read here. So this is another creative Battlefront 2 creative. There may or may not have been prototypes of Mustafar, Ventress, and Ahsoka for Clone Wars drop following Scarif. I think that this was for following Scarif, because Scarif was the last update we got, right? Because I know that there's some tweets that we're going to talk about where a developer, maybe the same guy, talks about what was supposed to launch for Battlefront 1. There was a ton of content we missed from Battlefront 1. I had no idea about. There was a ton of stuff that we were supposed to get. Activision is huge with shooters because COD. Okay. Sure, definitely. I could see anyone pick up Battlefront. I beg, I plead, please, somebody make it. Honestly, I would rather them just continue live service to Battlefront 2. It's already good. The lightsaber combat's already good. There's just some tweaks, and like I said, if they relaunch it for the PS5, that'll get me to buy a PS5. I'm not gonna lie. I'll start pulling strings to get a PS5 in my living room if they're going to relaunch it and continue live service. That's their best move because the fan base is there, man. Within like a year after they discontinued it, it was like it had its most players of all time, more than when they had live service. But unfortunately, the game has been out of commission for so long that, like, I follow some Battlefront 2 YouTubers, and they just gave up. They didn't know how to make more content. I mean, my boy Frankie is pretty well checking out of Battlefront 2 because he's just running out of content ideas, you know. Other people that were Battlefront channels are rebranding completely. They're making videos on new games and stuff. They just time is passing, and I'm afraid that the more time passes, the less, you know, Battlefront 2 might just get old. But that's because a lot of us have been playing it to death since launch. So we should talk about why there is not a Republic Commando 2. It's a good question, man. I really think that Star Wars has fumbled the ball on video games so badly. What they have done is good. Okay. We've got Fallen Order to show, like, whenever I'm listing Star Wars games, I can count them on one hand since The Force Awakens came out. You know, it's just, it's been like we get one game like what, every 2 years, 2 or 3 years. It's just, how is this massive company with this industry, this video game industry that they can do whatever they want with? Why is it all in the hands of EA that are trying to make other games too? Games that are safe cash cows. Like, they don't care about Star Wars. They just want to make money. I'm just very surprised that there's no one else out there, you know, that can just put out a Star Wars game every freaking year. It doesn't have to be the same game. It doesn't have to be Battlefront 3, Battlefront 4. It can be whatever. Be anything. We should have gotten a Mandalorian game when Mandalorian came out. We should have gotten a Bad Batch game. Because when Mandalorian's happening, everyone's about Mandalorian. 100% Star Wars fans will buy a Mandalorian game. Right? When the Bad Batch came out, everyone's Bad Batch. Everyone's making Bad Batch videos. Everyone's milking those 20 minutes for as much content as possible. Why not just put out a game about them? That isn't an app. Do not give me another Star Wars app, please. No one wants to play a Star Wars app. I'm sorry. Some people maybe do. I sure as hell don't. And if I do, I'm going to be bored of it. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying. Technically, there is a Republic Commando 2. It came out on mobile. See, I had no idea. It's mobile. I'm so mind blown. Remember when the OT was out? They were pumping out games, man. I mean, we look back on them and they're 8-bit and they're really shitty, but they were making games. The prequels, they were making games. Oh, the sequels come out. They're like barely making. I just don't understand it. Make a game about the sequel movies. I don't care. I don't know if I clicked you or not. I was in a heated rant. Welcome, Nick. Next year or two is going to be slow for Star Wars games. For sure. I have high hopes. I really hope that, like, they pick up another gaming company that, well, they have. There's some stuff in the works, but I just I expect more from Star Wars, you know. For games, I just don't. The money's there to be made. There's gamers like us with thumbs itching to do something. We're all playing other games because there's no Star Wars games. What else are we supposed to do? And then they say we will not be announcing any new games. What do you mean? What the hell are you working on? Just checking some of these comments here. Yeah. Fallen Order 2 is going to be good. Ubisoft with the open world game, I have high hopes. The Quantum Dream game, I'm not familiar with. I'm not totally up to. I'm not sure what that one is. Eventually, you know, maybe one day when I have kids, they'll be able to play the new Lego Star Wars series. Maybe. I'm sure I'm gonna be breaking it down to my kids. Like, hey guys, I know you're 10 years old now, 11 years old now. You've been waiting your whole life for the new Lego Star Wars game, but it's been delayed again. Yeah, it's been delayed since I was a young man. So just the game that's never gonna launch. Easily do a rebrand of Modern Republic Commando, dude. I'm just imagine a game. I did a my latest daily debate in the Discord was um, the Republic Commando with an ARC Trooper with like Republic Commandos and ARC Troopers versus Death Troopers and Purge Troopers versus the Praetorian Guards, aka Snoke's guards, and the Sith Trooper. Who would win in a death battle? So just that just gets me thinking. Like, wouldn't that be cool if you could have some squad death battle thing like that? You could still pick kind of your favorite teams through the eras, like squadrons, right? You build your squadrons, but let's not do it in ships. Let's have boots on the ground. Let's build teams. We need interactive multiplayer experiences, and I think that it is critical that we have at least one good multiplayer game that we can play for years and then put out campaigns in the meantime, because we'll get bored of multiplayer as we want to play campaigns every once in a while. So we need a solid multiplayer game that people can go back and forth to, right? Sometimes you're not in the mood for multiplayer. Sometimes you're in the mood to go on an adventure in another universe, right? So I think that's what we really need, just a solid foundation of a game. I'm ranting a lot. Sorry, guys. I'm falling behind on some of these comments. Disney Infinity Star Wars is a lot of fun. Totally a kids game. Dude, there's nothing wrong with kids games, man. Nothing. If you have fun, that's why we play games. We play games to have fun. Who cares, right? Take the 2005 Battlefront 2, increase the graphics, make the blaster sound accurate. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Relaunch the first two. There you go. You don't even have to make a new game. You're already remaking Knights of the Old Republic. Just remake the original Battlefront games. It's easy. They should hire me. I got all these ideas. I sit here and yell at my computer screen. Yeah, man. Quantum Dream is a developer. They made Detroit Become Human. Oh, that's right. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. What's up, Mr. Darth? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome here. Welcome to the stream. Okay, there's a couple other things that I wanted to talk about here. Okay, so when Battlefront 1 came out, oh, sorry, your comment still clicked. I'm really bad for that, just leaving comments up. So when Battlefront 1 came out, they had actually a lot more ideas for that game. That game was actually supposed to be bigger than it was, with a lot more content than it was. But they had to cut themselves off because it was taking too long. It was costing too much money. So basically, the latest, or I guess the map Solist, they were working on. It took them a ton of time, and they had to backlog a bunch of ideas. There were some technical issues they were having, where there were heroes that were supposed to come out that never ended up coming out. So I'm gonna show you that right now here. So this was I guess the design director we can see on the top here. So this is for Battlefront 1. The Outer Rim, Chewbacca and Bosk were supposed to be just a Solus pack. They ended up coming out on the Death Star release. I don't even sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Bespin, Lando, and IG-88. So you guys might remember IG-88. He was the droid from The Mandalorian, the droid that Mando got worked with to get to Grogu or Baby Yoda, right? That droid was supposed to be in Battlefront 1. But there were too many issues, I guess, designing IG-88. They didn't have enough time, so they ended up going with Dengar. So Dengar was just another bounty hunter, right? He was pretty cool. But I think IG-88 would have been cool, like better. Obi-Wan and Tarkin were supposed to be released with the Death Star instead of Chewbacca and Bosk. I can't fully recall why we didn't do Tarkin. Okay, whatever. We weren't sure if the Rogue One DLC was going to happen, so the backup plan was R2-D2 was a full-on hero instead of a game mode. How sick would that have been? Obi-Wan headlining a Mos Eisley pack for Battlefront 1, likely with Greedo. Greedo. Why are you putting out heroes like Greedo? I guess they didn't have a lot to work with the OT. But man, R2D2 was a hero that was being designed for Battlefront 1, for the Battlefront 2015. R2D2. Why are you putting out BB-8? Why are the last heroes you're releasing for Battlefront 2 BB-8 and BB-9? Who the fuck is BB-9? Damn, bro. Mando worked with IG-11. Right. Okay, so it's the IG unit that I'm talking about, not the number. Right. Thank you. Yes, exactly. So that just makes me think, like, that's another thing I didn't understand, is why didn't they release the same heroes that they'd already done the legwork on? Very similar playstyle, right? Just move them into Battlefront 2. You know, they could have been cool if they had done like I don't know, had a section of the map or the menu in Battlefront 2 that said Battlefront 1 experience. You could click it and play Battlefront 1 through the main menu if you owned it, or something like that. Or just the heroes from Battlefront 1. You know, there was Greedo, there was Dengar, there was what's that guy's name? Nien Nub, the guy who flies with Lando. That guy, I think that's his name. There were a bunch of heroes that were already made. But it's actually crazy that Obi-Wan was supposed to be in Battlefront 1. He was supposed to be another lightsaber hero. Obviously, this would have been like old Obi-Wan, which would have been really cool, because he probably would have had maybe a different playing style in Obi-Wan from Battlefront 2. But how sick would that have been? So he was in the works. So for Battlefront 2, we could have had old Obi-Wan as well. Battlefront 2, we could have had R2D2, but apparently Celis took too long to develop, so they had to push a lot of these extra ideas behind. Like we saw from this tweet here. Which one was it? Mustafar was supposed to... Hang on. This was not in a tweet. This was information that I gathered. I had it written down on my other computer, but I had to switch to this one because of the technical difficulties. But Mustafar was supposed to be out in both games. Mustafar was supposed to be in Battlefront 1 and 2, I think, unless I'm wrong. But because of those issues with development, I don't understand. Why is there this time crunch? Why is there this money issue? This is Star Wars, man. I'm just my mind is blown. How are there these time constraints? Just why are these games coming out with these release dates and then perpetually delaying them? Or why are they launching them too early, then having bugs and issues, and then having to postpone their plans? Just take an extra year. If you think that a game's going to come out 2021, give it to 2022. We'll wait. Just give us a full, complete game without freaking issues. That's all I'm saying. So this is another creative for Battlefront, Tom Henderson. It should also be said that development can change at any given time, and the next title has started development. But if Battlefront, how are you a creative and you're getting a typo on your Twitter? But if Battlefront 3 ever gets greenlit and starts development for whatever reason, I'll break the news. So I guess this is kind of a hopeful note here that it's possible, right? Development can change at any time. Anything can happen. So Battlefront 3, it's not totally out forever, right? Like we said earlier, another game could pick it up. Another developer could pick up Battlefront 3 and run with it. But it doesn't look like EA is going to be doing it, which is fine. Honestly, I would rather that EA just continue service on Battlefront 2 and just leave it at that. Let someone else do Battlefront 3. Someone who cares, someone who's not going to fuck up the launch so badly, right? Like, I just don't understand why their damage control is so bad when they launch Battlefront 2. They don't understand. It's like they either want to make money or they don't want any money. Like, bro, just give us a little gift. Be like, sorry, we fucked up. Now we're going to continue our services so that you can have an awesome game for even longer. That's what everybody says. They just want to keep playing Battlefront 2. Just continue services. So, like I said in the title, bit of a lethal blow. A lot of us had kind of been waiting. We'd kind of been hoping. I myself made a theory video about what could potentially be coming in the next game. Like a lot of us, we've been hoping for it because Battlefront 2 has been out for a long time. And if you're a console player like me, there's no mods. It's just the same thing over and over. People keep getting better and better. And continue to grow more and more toxic. we're in this little ecosystem, this little bubble, and there's no room for growth. People are maxing out their characters. We're desperate for a multiplayer game, so just put out a multiplayer, just anything. So, fellas, ladies and gents, I think that is all that I have to talk about in regards to Battlefront 2. Unless you guys have any comments, drop them and I'll respond to them. Strike's got something here. Agreed, I would prefer Battlefront 3 from a different company too. They would want to prove that they can deliver on what EA couldn't and do justice. Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. So, just a couple things that I want to say before I wrap up the stream. And if you guys have been watching so far, I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. I haven't been making a lot of content on this channel lately, and I did a whole rant about this on my gaming channel. So if you're interested in hearing my full thoughts, the link is in the description. Vader Rage Quits. I went on a big, very long rant about it. So if you want all the full details there, they're there. Okay. But I've been pulling back a little bit on this channel just because I was on a bit of a creator burnout. There were some issues that I was dealing with in terms of when you YouTube long enough, you sometimes get really into the numbers, view count, subscribers, stuff like that. I was very frustrated with YouTube for not monetizing me. I was trying to run with the Patreon, but ultimately there were a number of factors that led to me pulling back from YouTube a little bit and just taking a breath. You guys know that I'm not a channel that makes a video every time there's new news. I don't make weekly videos, bi-weekly video. Like I don't put out videos. I don't have a schedule, right? I don't do the live streams consistently. I just make content that I want to make when I want to make it. And I needed to pull back a little bit because I was trying to become something I wasn't. I was often comparing myself to other YouTube channels and trying to do what they were doing. And I wasn't just doing me. I wasn't doing my thing. And I pulled back because I want to just do my thing from here on out. So that means that there might be dry periods. There might be busy periods, whatever. So I canceled the High Republic, my Patreon. I don't want to have that service and not make the regular content that you guys maybe deserve. So I'll leave the dono link there. But aside from that, I just kind of want to keep doing my thing. No pressure on myself. And I just want to continue to make great content for you guys. Because at the end of the day, this channel's called Star Wars Real Talk. I just want to real talk. I just want to rant about whatever I want to rant about without any pressure of keeping up with other YouTubers, with Star Wars, or scraping and ripping any kind of shred of information to make content. That's not what I'm about. So if you guys are sticking through the stream to the end, I know that you guys really care about me and my channel and my thoughts. And those of you watching right now, I really appreciate you guys. So just know that. And I think that is all I have to say. That being said, obviously there's a lot of Star Wars coming in the future. We're in a bit of a dry spell right now. And for Star Wars fans, these droughts between content just feel endless. Everyone's trying to make content of anything, of nothing. And I don't want to put that pressure on myself. So I'm not going to. So there we go. Thanks, Spencer. Thanks, Strike. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, you know what? It's a busy time of year. Fall is everybody's into their school. They got exams. Work is busy. Where I live, it's tourist season in my town. So everyone's been super busy. So it just seems like a busy time of year. But Christmas is going to be a lot of fun and a lot of Star Wars content coming. Battlefront 3, while it has been dealt a lethal blow from EA, that does not mean that it will never come out in the future. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching. May the Force be with you. I'll see you guys in the Discord.
Oh, yeah? I know you love that shit, man.